Welcome back to Motonisto. Today I'm going to talk about how to close tubing, whether I'm going to show you two examples, whether it's rectangular or round. Of course, I'm not going to talk about plastic plugs because, well, that's the easy way to plug a tube, but we're going to put some art into it and also some structural integrity. So let's move to the first example. It's a rectangular, and this happens to be my personal Jeep, and I made this bumper out of rectangular tubing. In this case, it's stainless steel, but you'll notice the rear side is flat and only the front is curved. The front and the top and bottom, and it's not exactly round. It still has a little bit of radius, but not much, and it's really easy to do. This was a blunt end and open, going all the way through, and I don't want the elements to go in there, but cutting triangular slices, slightly curving them, and the back side use just a straight cut, use a triangular slice from these two corners, and then welding it shut on the corners, and grinding and using a little bit of sandpaper afterwards, a file, and that is one way. That is one way to cap a rectangular or even square tubing, if you will. You could, of course, meet that inner center depending on where you bend the steel after you remove the triangles. But let's look at another more relevant example, because at Motonisto we're about motorcycles, and every once in a while I run into a case like this where I have a dead-end pipe tube. There's a difference between pipe and tube, by the way. Pipe is measured on the inside flow and the pressure strength of the wall, where a tube, this case being a tube, is measured by the outside dimensions and its structural integrity. Regardless, once in a while, coming on a motorcycle, you find something like this, an empty tube. Plastic cap wouldn't. I don't know. Plastic cap wouldn't have the structural integrity of completely welding it shut, and this needs to be structural at the end. If you don't weld it completely shut, then all the load is going to be transferred onto this portion of the tube, and while the other opposite side will not get any of the load. Luckily I finished the other side, and we can take a look at how it's done. Of course, another option is to weld a steel ball in there. This one is already boogered up, so it's not exactly round anymore. But welding a steel ball in there adds a little bit of extra weight, but it is the easiest way to do it. Only thing I don't like about a steel ball is that the center point becomes a center point, where if you cut it, just like I did on the other one, see, the cuts will be longer on one side than the other. Basically, it will be an ellipse or at an angle of sorts to give a larger radius on the outside and a smaller radius on the inside, and that way you can control the where the center point ends. You see how much larger the radius is on the outside versus on the inside. I think it looks pretty cool. It looks a lot better than just a blunt end over there. And ironic thing is that once the seat is installed on this motorcycle, those two nobody will ever see those, but somebody will eventually, and appreciate the art that I put into this. So anyway, this bike, I'll make a future episode about it, I promise, but I'm not at a point yet where I can do that. But regardless, if you if you have a welder, an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel, another one with the flap disc, and a file is important to finish it off afterwards. Maybe some sandpaper to even smooth it out further. But yeah, that's one way to close a tube. And until the next episode, we'll see you. Bye bye.